Right guys, welcome back to the Hunter Collective and the Regal Gentleman YouTube page. I've got Matt in the chair today, and Matt would like to keep a lot of the length he's got on the top, but he's happy to go nice and tight around the back and side. So one of his requests was an undercut, and he's already got that now, more so on one side than this side, it looks to me, just from the previous haircut. And Matt is also an actor, so that is his headshot, that is his look. So I want to try and keep something very similar, but add a little bit more of a creative edge, more than just doing a regular undercut. I'm not the biggest fan. Matt could do it himself realistically, but I want to add a little bit of something else. So what we thought we'd do is we'd find the section which works for the undercut, which falls nicely. Now I'm noticing a few shorter sections here, a few longer sections here, which we're gonna have to try and be a bit creative with. But ultimately I want to try and do something that's going to be really stand out, but also still work with what Matt's got. So I'm thinking purely razor cut on the length on the top, so trying to maintain as much as we can just so that it falls easier. Matt's also come up with a problem area of his, which is on the right hand side, which we can have a look at in a minute, which tends to just stick out. And I know his pain because I get the same thing as well. So we want to try and work with what he's happy with, what he wants, and also what's going to work for this haircut. So slight bit of compromise, but so far so good. What we thought we'd do on the back and sides, go down to maybe a 4 in length, 3 or 4, but then we thought maybe we'd do a temple fade. So regular, like so 4 as high up as we possibly can go, still keeping a little bit of length through the top, and then just on this angle here, so it's coming from the temple down to the ear, is fading that right out, and also on the neck as well, going really nice and tight. So there's a bit of creativity in there as well. So you're still keeping the majority of the length on the top, you're getting all this nice movement, nice fall, it'll sit really nice and loose, but then we've got that real sharp, close kind of finish towards the sides as well. So it will be an undercut, but it won't be as drastic as kind of just shaving it right up to a part. So we thought we'd do that today. And again, like I said, we're going to be using a razor for the cutting of the top, and adding that texture and movement as well. So I'll talk you through how to remove length and also how to texturize as well. But give it a nice wash, condition, and then we'll start. All right. So on your undercut, do you have a particular height you like it to be? Because it doesn't look too undercut to me. I don't know if it's just because it's really long. It's not. It's kind of lost its shape.
I haven't had an undercut for a fair while. That's
right. Oh, I thought so. No, yeah, it's that side is, but I think it must more like it's a part than anything else.
Yeah.
So, do you want it to be? Do you actually want it to be a full undercut on both sides, or do you want it more so on one side?
Honestly, I'm not super sold on the undercut. The undercut's not a necessity.
Right. Because I think an undercut more than. All right, that's awesome to know then, because I think we definitely have some more. I think we do have a noticeable length from the top to the sides. I do think this should be an undercut, but I'd like it to fall nicely as you bring it back as well. Yeah, so I'd like it to fall, but also, kind of not go too high with the clipper work. You know what I mean? Maybe it's about here. Still do the horseshoe, but still blend it down. So bringing it kind of like quite low into the blend. So it's still undercut, but when you bring it in, it doesn't look it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I think the primary reason is just purely because on the sides it grows out so fast that then it ends up like it is at the minute where it gets all wispy. And
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, I'm
all right. Sweet. Good. Right, guys. So just washed it and conditioned it. It's a nice little blank canvas for me now. Now I'm gonna find my horseshoe section, and then I'm going to start with the clipper work on the back and sides. So starting with section points, just going to work my horseshoe coming straight down. Drop that nice and low at the back, because again, we're looking to preserve the length on the top. I want to preserve a little bit of length through here as well. I know I've got the beauty of being an appointment-based barber, but getting this section here really will set it off. If this section is wonky, won't sit right, then you'll find the haircut will be lopsided. So if this is a bit too high to here, then this, obviously as you can imagine, this will be a lot longer, a lot shorter at this point here, so it'll be really lopsided. So really spend a good bit of time getting this section completely perfect. Now this is a lot lower than a normal horseshoe, so this is just about a little tiny bit below the round of the head. Now bearing in mind, we're trying to maintain what we call an undercut. So if I cut this at the round of the head or over the round of the head, it's going to kick out. So I need to preserve a little bit of length through the corner here for it to fall nicely, because this will want to sit over the clipper work, which will allow me to kind of play with the movement and also play with the styling of it as well. There we go, that'll do. So I'm going to dry this off and then start on my clipper work. So I'm going to start on my number 4 guard. because I still want to keep, I don't want to go like drastic. I know this will look drastic, but a number 4 is still quite a long guard. It allows a nice, easy transition into length as well. So more than going in for like a 2 or something like that, but even though we're doing a temple fade, I want this temple fade to be severe enough to see the fade. So if I went in with like a 3 or a 2, it might be a bit too short to really show off the fade, whereas a 4, you don't see any scalp exposure, and then when you start to reveal scalp exposure with the fade, down to maybe a 0.5, that really shows that kind of creative edge you're trying to add to this haircut. We're going to keep this quite low, because I want to still blend in, and still give it a little bit of length through my fingers, so I can slightly connect this undercutting. I'll explain what I mean in a little bit. So I'm working quite low, as I want to still be able to have hair that will connect in. So I'm going just below his occipital bone. So as when I pump my finger, you can see as my finger protrudes out there, that's where his occipital bone is. So I'm working to that point. So that will allow me to maintain length here. That will allow me to connect this through here. So you have an undercut on the side and it almost connects at the back. Alright, just as I'm coming to the ear, I just feed the hair through 3 of the teeth. Allows me to still see where I'm going and also connect it in to my guide as well. I bet when you were a kid, your hair was exactly like that guy out of Backstreet Boys, that Carter fella. Are you old enough for Backstreet Boys?
Yeah. I can't remember which one's which.
The one with the blonde hair with the centre part. You've got exactly the same hair as what he's got. This is what it used to be like when it was in the 90s, you remember, like when it was like as it is now?
Yeah.
Don't put that on film, mate. I don't want people to know I know about the Backstreet Boys, mate.
Way too many years with the Justin Bieber haircut.
Oh, mate, yeah.
That was my teenage years.
Was it? Yeah.
Well, I was
the big long
before,
fringe.
Before he even existed. It's like the 90s.
That's it. How old are you now then, Matt?
27.
I had the same cut as well.
Did you?
Same cut, yeah.
Did you?
Covering one eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never had curtains. My hair was too like, I always had a shaved head.
Oh, really?
My mum got my head shaved when I was about 5, and I never grew it long after that. Because it's so thick and like fluffy.
Yeah.
I used to look like Sonic the Hedgehog, you know. It used to like, you know, the little monkeys used to wear at the fair, the boxing gloves on. My hair was exactly, it used to spike out like that. So it never used to look, and you can never get it to sit flat or nothing. So my mum just decided that, I got a cow's lip as well. She's like, I'm just going to shave it off. To which most of the horror in my family were like, why have you done that to his hair? But I literally had a 2 into a 1 for years. In the winter it was a 4 into a 3, and in the summer it was a 2 into a 1. So it used for years.
Give you a bit of length.
Yeah.
For the warmth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that extra couple of millimetres is going to make a massive difference, isn't it? You know. So that is my number 4 done. Do the back and sides. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to blend this in first, and then I'll work on the edges and the temple fade as well. A nice lot of elevation. I'll layer this hair, the longer hair over to the shorter hair. Give a nice softer blend. Keeping the teeth angle towards me. So that kind of layer upon layer upon layer. So you don't get that kind of harsh blend that maybe I've got on the back and sides of mine. It just allows you to maintain length through there as well. I'm trying to maintain a fair bit of length through this blend, just so when we do have the undercut, we've still got a little bit of movement where we can get some product in there as well. So that is the majority of the blending from the 4 into remove like this length through the corners here. I'm going to edge the hairline now, so to kind of tidy it all up, put the nice edging in, so line it up, and then I'm going to work on the fade. So once I put my lines in, I can work out wherever it needs to be, and then I'll start on the fade. I'm just gonna literally put like almost like a line in through where it becomes like the strongest point together. So as you can see, his hairline goes right down to almost to his back here, then there's nothing here. So if I was going to start tapering this, I'd be tapering hair here when there's nothing there. So what I always do, just for symmetry, is I just kind of square the neckline off at a reasonable point. That doesn't make his neck look too long, but also will allow me to taper it. So almost up to where this middle bit is here is where I start, where I kind of put my line in, just for the symmetry line. Right, so I'm going to start on the fade now. So I'm going straight in with a 1.5. And this will set my kind of guide of where I want the fade to start. So I'm going to start on the bottom, and I'm just going to work it up to the corner here. The reason why I chose a 1.5 is because it's still nice and easy to blend out, and it's not too harsh. Try and go in with a 0.5. You might find if I go straight in with a 0.5, it might be a bit too drastic. So this just gives me that little bit of leeway, just in case maybe a 0.5 might be a bit too short. So just use a 1.5, using the corner, and just seeing this kind of line from where I've edged it here, and just coming down to the top of the ear. Working down to my 1, and then coming from the beard, down to my 0.5. 1.5 guard. Open, so lever pull down, and start to blend a bit higher up. So we're still exposing the lines. We'll get that nice sharp contrast into the sides now. And using a smaller comb, smaller teeth, more flexible as well, so I can get into areas of it easier without pressing too hard or the ear getting in the way. Following the same direction of where I want the blend to go, we'll start to blend up into the hair. This is really good for guys who can't really sort of grow very strong sideburns like myself. It's great for this. I'm just using the angle of his neck and the shape of the clipper head, and just coming up and up. Down to my 1, up into where the 1.5 started. Then into my 0.5. And then my 0. And then using the same comb allows me to kind of get right in where I need to without compromising the blend. So what I'm noticing now, as you can see, if you come around here, Liam, see this side of the undercut here is quite short compared to this side here. So we need to remove that to match, otherwise it won't really work. It'll be a bit too lopsided, so it'll always fall heavy on one side, because there'll be so much weight bringing this over. All you want to do is kind of bring it like this. But we still want to keep, obviously, a bit of length in there, because he does find it sticks out. So we still want to work with what Matt wants, but also what works for this haircut as well. So I'm going to be using my Texturizing today. Now I'm just going to pick up these sections. I'm going to start from the front. And I'm just going to work a nice clean section just from the fringe. I just want to see how this is sitting. And you can see that side's a little bit shorter there to there. So between my thumb and the razor, I'm going to pinch at the end, and this will remove length. But as you can see, it's very serrated. So it's not like a scissor where it'll be very blunt. It leaves a nice serrated finish, which is great for any longer hair, super thick hair as well. What you're doing is you're removing length as well. I'm starting to see a lot of length through here. So I'm going to pick it up on this angle now. Pretty much connect through this back. So that falls nice into my blend. We'll maintain still a lot of length through there as well. Now, pick it up again. I'm working along this hairline. Pick it up nice and straight, and just take a little bit off through there. Let it get quite long now. It's just nice into the back there as well. Now what I'm going to do now on this side is I'm going to part it just off the centre. If I don't want this to fall into a centre part, I'm going to part this just off centre, and I'm going to bring this over here. Now what we're looking for is to try and keep a lot of length through this, but also it's a little bit too long here. So I want to try and create a bit more of this kind of shape going through. It's almost like the old school curtains. It's going to get shorter to longer here, but still going to be undercut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work from this angle here. I'm looking at my finish point here as well. So I'm looking to take about that much off and just angle it on a shorter angle from the back here. So bring it through my fingers so I can see my guide. Holding like a pen and just sliding through it like that. That starts to leave that nice finish. Just make sure as you get to the back, it's all the same through there. Leave a nice line through there. That's my one side, but now I'm going to check the length through there as well, because I may need to go a touch short when we get to the other side, but this allows me to still sweep it back and it falls nicely to the sides, and as it gets to the back, it all blends in through the back as well. So you still keep the undercuts, you've got a nice blend as it falls through the back, but when we start to texturize it, we'll start to get a lot more loose and a lot more fall in there as well. But also try and create a little bit of root lift, a little bit of movement, a load of different things just using this one razor.
Yeah, I think I still would love to see that.
Now we're going to do the same again. So a parting just off centre. We'll have a look at these angles coming through here now. And this is purely just for shape. Right, so that's all sitting nice, that's starting to fall nice. We've got a nice undercut, now we're going to add a lot of movement to this now. So we'll start on my right hand side, and I'm going to take a section across, or a diagonal section from the side of his head here. I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to start just from the mid to the ends, start sliding through now. Now this will add a lot of shape, a lot of texture, but we're not cutting it too short where it'll stand out. I'm still keeping it so there's still quite a lot of length in. Now whichever way you work this razor is your force and direction. So I'm working straight down on that side, and as I get into this undercut here, I'm starting to work my texture back towards the back. Now what that'll do is it'll cut it short to longer, which will then push this hair back a little bit easier as well. The reason why I'm doing this is because it's going against the way his natural hair wants to grow. So by adding texturing on different angles, just creates a little bit more movement. And again, as the hair gets longer to the top, you start a little bit lower down. And then one last section coming over. So as you can see, we'll start to elevate this a little bit more now, just because we're getting to the crown. And I'm working just towards the ends of the hair. So a lot of it was quite deeper with the texture when it was lower down, but as I'm getting a bit higher up, I'm going a little bit further towards the end of the hair, because I'm not looking to try and make it stand up. Now if it goes too short, higher up here, it'll stick up, because don't forget this is the top of his head. So I'm doing it just to the ends. This is just purely to break up the ends of his hair so it falls nice. And make sure when you get to that fringe section, you bring this back, over direct the fringe, and just miss out the first section, because that is his fringe. We don't want that to fall too flat. So all that starts to do is just add a lot more movement to his hair. So as you bring it through like this, you start to see that falling nicely. It's just adding texture, just for something a little bit different. You can see I'm starting to work this way now. So again, as I'm getting higher up on the head, I'm working lower down for the texture. You see there's the hair that I'm taking off. I'm removing a lot of length still. But there's going to be little shorter elements to there that's going to move around a little bit different to what the longer hair will. Now, as we get into this side again, remember to leave a little bit more hair through, so you don't want to take too much off. You're just doing it more towards the ends now. So I'm going to pick up the fringe and just miss that first section. So just start from here. So I've done it diagonal, across one side of the head to the other. Now I'm going to work straight back. So we're not looking for anything too high here. We don't want to go too high, we're not looking for too much lift, so I'm just breaking up the ends now. When you've got very long hair and you've got anything short here, this helps it sit a bit flatter. So I'll do one or two through the bottom there, just to break it up, and then a couple through the top just to add a bit of movement and break the ends up. Thinning the hair out, still move it, falling any which way it wants to. Before, if you remember if you look at the before image, it was very flat and over to one side, but now we've balanced that through. So as you can see, I can show you something with a bit of root lift as well, which even at this length of hair, if I had a little bit of root lift through here, lift it up, hair will stand up with just water. So that's, if that stands up like that with just water, by using that technique, you know it's going to work with product as well. So I want that fringe to stand up a little bit more just for versatility. So I'm going to have a little bit of root lift in the fringe. And make it right through that fringe. Now you'll see when this is done, fringe starts to have a lot more height in there. It's not going to flop down as much as it was. It's standing up a lot better than what it was. If you look in the mirror, all that movement and texture in there, that was super floppy and was just sitting to one side. And then I'm going to pull this side down and see if it sits in the same way. And it does. Perfect. I'm going to dry this through with some of the Regal Gentleman Salt Spray. Spraying it as you lift the hair up, spray it into the roots, and then just spray it in. So as you're doing it yourself, just kind of separate your hair with your fingers and just spray it on like that. Alright? Obviously, the more hair you have, the easier it is to do. Now I'm going to use a bent brush because I want to create a lot more movement in this. I don't want to be kind of styled out too much. I want this to fall quite naturally. And just dry this back and dry it down and dry it forward. So I'm just breaking up the natural way it wants to go. And that way it will fall more natural. So once we've done that, take another section, do the same thing. Using that nozzle to direct the hair back, and then down, and then forwards. And once you've done that, just wait through the centre section. All that'll be left is these bits here. I'll bring it right up to give a bit of height. And just using your fingers to let cells fall. And the final bit is the fringe. So I'm going to pull this towards me, and the section behind, just to get a bit of height in there. And I'm going to dry it right up like this. The hair dryer underneath, right by your eyebrows, you just hold it there, and just use that bent brush just to dry it all up. What you get is that root lift that we were doing before, but also it won't fall flat. The higher you dry it, in the morning or the night or before, whatever time of day you do it, it will fall a lot less throughout the day because you're drying the height in there. Now I know you don't want it that big, so you can flatten it down with product, but the higher you dry it, the less chance it is to fall flatter through the day. So that's it dried through. Super quick, super simple. And as you see, look at all that movement that's sitting through there. So you've still got that nice undercut, but as you bring it back with the blend through here, it's got that nice disconnection. But it's textured, it's not just sitting really heavy and flat. It's got that movement in there. You get the height in there if you want it as well. Bit sort of Robert Pattinson-esque from back in the day. So what we'll do, we'll finish off with a bit of clay. So again, we don't need a lot because we've already got our base, which is our salt spray. Work this all the way through my hands, through my fingers as well. Remember, if you're going to work it through the hair, you might as well coat the inside of your fingers because it'll just coat the interior of the hair. So like the bits that aren't just on the top. And now I'm going to work this through. So a little slide through the side there, a little slide through the side there, and then work this in to the interior of the hair. And then style to desired look. But as you can see, look at all that movement that's sitting through there as well. So we can disguise the undercut if you want. You can expose the undercut if you want, just giving a little twist with your fingers. And that'll give it a nice little bit of movement through there as well. And if you bring that forward, that'll give that nice bit of height in there as well. And then, if you want to just break it up a little bit, get a comb, any comb will do. Just hold it like a pen, like this, and just slide the comb through. And that'll give more longer layers through it, like a longer streak almost. But it'll just take away that tangle as well. And then just style however you like then. And that is my temple fade with undercuts / disconnection. All finished. How do you like it?
Perfect. Thank
Looks
you.
nice, doesn't it, man?
Yeah, cool.
Really nice. So like I said, you can hide that disconnection by just flattening it through. That's why we get that little bit of weight through the blend here, so it kind of hides it almost. But if you want to expose it, just wrap it around your finger and kind of twist it, and then push it back. And what that'll do, it'll just kind of give a bit of like a wave to the hair, so you see that length sitting through. But then if you don't want to, again, you just flatten it through with your fingers or disguise it almost. But you just left with loads of versatility by doing this. By connecting the back in, I think more so, and you can kind of almost, you cut it into like curtains, and then as you bring it back, it all connects to the back. What that allows you to do is it allows you to still have a little bit of versatility, where it isn't just all undercut and you've got like a bowl. You know what I mean? I think it just works really well. And like I said, you've got wicked hair, man, so, you know.
Much appreciated.
It works great for this look as well. We're looking at the style, again, 4 back and sides, temple fade. So 4 back and sides, so section the top off. So just ask them to section it off just sort of just below where the recession point is. Number 4, or if you've got darker hair, go for number 3. And then just ask them to blend it down to a 0.5 or a half on the side bends and the neck, taper the neck. And then just to the top, if your barber uses a texturizer, fantastic. If not, just find a common length that you're both happy with. So me and Matt discussed it, and he wanted to maintain a lot of length, so just found a common point of reference to top that was all kind of same length. And then just ask them to just keep as much length on the top, and as they come to the crown, just ask them to blend the crown in. And then as it comes through here, just ask them just to take off the ends through the bottom there. That will kind of create that same effect, and just make sure it's even both sides. And then texture, if you haven't got a razor, you can do a lot of kind of slide cutting through it, and point cut through the top, so no blunt finish. And any texturizing technique you want to use, as long as it doesn't go too short. Simple as that.